Hello folks, I hope everyone are doing great there. So I'm Archana, I'm of Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, pursuing my graduation in 7th sem of EC domain. So today I'm going to discuss about the computer networks, where it covers the topic of 7 layers of computer networks as well as TCP and IP suite model, where the TCP and IP models are being used for data communication and where it comes under the Internet of Things topic. And coming to the 7 layers of computer network, it will be frequently asked in job interviews where the companies is dependent on the network solutions. So why to waste the time? Let us begin. So come so further proceeding to what is meant by layers and what are the different layers and what are the functions of each and every layer. So first we should be knowing the prerequisites of what is actually meant by OSI reference model. So we will just look after this what is actually meant by OSI and what is the abbreviation of this OSI. So the OSI is been abbreviated as Open System Interconnection, is a reference model that describes how information from a software application in one computer moves through a physical medium to the software application in another computer. So the OSI consists of 7 layers and each layer performs a particular network function. As we can see the 7 layers and what are the 7 layers and the function of the 7 layers. Okay, and then coming to the next point, OSI model was developed by the International Organization for Standardization, which is known as ISO in 1984, and it is now considered as an architectural model for the intercomputer communication. And then the OSI model divides the whole task into 7 smaller and manageable tasks. Each layer is assigned a particular task. Each layer is self-contained, so the task assigned to each layer can be performed independently. So each and every layer will perform different functions, which is helpful for the network. And here we can know that it can be performed independently. So the here each and every layer is independent of one another, so it can perform its own task in its own way as well as in its own function as well. And then OSI model divides the whole task into 7 smaller and manageable tasks. Each layer is assigned a particular task. So each and every layer will be assigned with a particular task where the task will be taken up by each layer and then it will accordingly perform its own task. So the first and foremost layer or the lowest layer of an OSI reference model will be the physical layer. So now we will be just discussing about what are the different layers and what are the functions of each and every layer and what are the tasks that will be doing or ongoing with each and every layer. And then we will be just differing from what is meant by each and every layer, how it is being performed and how it is being included in the networks here. So the first layer will be of physical layer. So, where the lowest layer of the OSI reference model is the physical layer, it is responsible for actual physical connection between the devices. The physical layer contains information in the form of bits, where the bits is nothing but zeros and ones, or it is also known as a binary values. It is responsible for transmitting individual bits from one node to the next. When receiving data, this layer will get the signal received and convert into zeros and ones and then send them back to the data link layer or send them to the data link layer, which will put the frame back together. Here what is the work or what is the function of physical layer means. So the physical layer is the lowest level or the lowest layer in the OSI reference model, and then the physical layer will be in the bits mode, that is nothing but the information in the physical layer will be of zeros and ones or the binary values, and whatever the information need to be sent from one computer or one system or one device into another device, so it will be in the form of, it can be of signals or digital signals or it can be of numbers or anything. So information can be of any format. So in the physical layer, first it will convert the whatever the signals will be getting to or given as an input for the transmitter or the receiver. So whatever the information will be collected in the transmission channel and whatever the information that will be containing in the transmission channel, so at the receiver end, the first it will convert the signals into an bits or the binary values, like it will be in zeros or one series or in that way. So it will be just converting the signals into an zeros and ones, and then it will be send them zeros and one series into a data link layer, which will be of the lower, in the lower level the second most layer will be of data link layer. So which will create an framework of these zeros and ones and then it will be transmitted to the data link layer here. And then coming to the second one, the data link layer. The data link layer is responsible for the node to node delivery of the message. The main function of this layer is to make sure data transfer is error free from one node to another over the physical layer. When packet arrives in a network, it is responsible for the DLL to transmit it to the host using its MAC address. So here data link layer is been very responsible for transforming the message from one node to the another node without any error. So whenever there interrupts or any packages will be arriving at the during the transmission of any messages, so it should be responsible and it should convey the message or convey the information in a very fluency and in a seamless way. So here the error should be 0, or the error should be null, and which is also known as the error free from one node to the another over the physical layer. Where in the physical layer the error may occur, we don't know what will be the signals and how the information will be off, so the error may occur. But in data link layer, so it should conflict all the errors or what, and what are the problems or what are the interrupts it will be interrupting the flow. Then it should where it should just control the error, and then it should give the information, and then it should just flow, just what we'll say that will be just flowing, and there is no error should be present in the data link layer and will be just error free here. And when packet arrives in the network, okay, it is responsible for the DLL to transmit to the host. The host is nothing but the number of what are the topmost layers, or the top 5 layers, or nothing but the host. So here the host is nothing but the different types of computers or different types of software platforms. So it should convey these messages to the host using its MAC address. Like we know that for convey transmitting the any address or any information to any of the address, we should be knowing the address of at what destination we should be transmitting this information. So that address is known as MAC address here. And coming to the next point is nothing but the network layer. The network layer works for the transmission of data from one host to the another located in in different networks. It is also take care of packet routing, that is selection of the shortest path to transmit the packet. From the number of routes available, the sender and receiver IP address are placed in the header by the network layer. So here in the network layer is nothing but a transmission data. Like here the transmission message or the transmission data from the host is nothing but the number of computers will be received from host to the other located in different hours. So the same host, like here some of the host will be there, or here some of the number of computers will be there. So sir, the transmission of these data need to be transmitted from here from one host to the another host here. So this will be in charge by the network layer, and here the packets will be carried out here. That is the we will be just looking after, there are many ways to transmit these packets or this information to another host layer, or another host. So but there are many ways, so we will be just like the network layer will be choosing which is the shortest one among them. So then the transmission will be taking up. Then the transport layer, the fourth layer will be of the transport layer. The transport layer provides services to the application layer and takes services from the network layer. The data is the transport layer is referred to as segment. It is responsible for the end-to-end delivery of the complete message. The transport layer also provides the acknowledgement of the successful data transmission and retransmits the data if an error is found. So transport layer is nothing but the transformation of any information to application layer, which is the top 7, or the layer 7, which is the toppest layer of the what is the OSI reference model. The transport layer provides service to the application level and takes services from the network layer. So here the information will be transmitted to the application layer, and then the service will be needed for the network layer. The data is the data in the transport layer is referred to as segments. So it will be in different, like segments is nothing but the parts, like each of like one series will be cutted and divided into each and every parts, and then separate parts will be known as the segment, and the series of these parts is known as segments. It is responsible for the end-to-end delivery of the complete message. So it should be capable of transmitting each and every message in a what is a perfect way as well as in a smooth way. The transport layer also provides the acknowledgement of the successful data transmission. and retransmit the data if any error is found. So that is nothing but the transport layer is responsible for transmitting the data in a very successful way, as well as if there is any error occurred in the application layer or any of the layer during the flow, so it will be just returning back or transmit the data to back to the transport layer, and then debug the error, and then it will be just continuing with the same process here. And coming to the another layer, which is known as session layer, this layer is responsible for the establishment of connection, maintenance of sessions, and authentication, and as also ensures security. So establishments of connection is nothing but the connection need to be very perfect, and there should be a no error, or there should be no any such type of like connections will be on and off, and there will be loading, all those things. So the connection need to be very seamless, that is nothing but smooth. And the maintenance of sessions and the authentication, that is nothing but the security purpose. And then presentation layer, the presentation layer is also called the translation layer. The data from the application layer is extracted here and manipulated as per the required format to transmit over the network. And coming to the topmost layer, which is known as the application layer, at the very top of the OSI reference model stack of layers, we find the application layer, which is implemented by the network application. This application produce the data which has to be transferred over the network. This layer also serves as window for the application services to access the network and for displaying the received information to the user. So here the application is nothing but whatever the messages or whatever the information that need to be transmitted from one place to another place. So this application layer will be showing whatever the information is being received from the transmitter back to the receiver back, and here the receiver will be the nothing but the user or the computer. It can be of computer devices or any of the systems here. So the message will be transparent, and we can see the messages whatever we had received from the transmitter end. So now let us look after what are the advantages of OSI model. So from the previous sessions as well as in the previous things, we had learned about what are the 7 layers and what are the functions of each and every layers, and how the OSI model is been placed over the each and every layer. And now we will be just looking after what are the advantages of this OSI model, right? So the OSI model helps user and operators of computer networks. We can, like I has already told, in the application end, the user will be knowing what are the message or what are the information that has been sent from the operator. So here the operator will be a transmitter and the user will be the receiver. So the operator will transmit the information through the computer networks, and then the user will be getting this information or messages from the computer networks only, but in the different location here. So it will help in this way from the OSI part. So determine the required hardware and software to build their network. So it will determine, or it will just say the prerequisites which are required for hardware and software to build the network, like whatever the software things or whatever the hardware part that need to be required for any transmission of any network. So this will just determine us, and also it helps us to know the prerequisites of this building operation. And then coming to the third point, understand and communicate the process followed by components communicating across a network. Fourth one will be of perform troubleshooting by identifying which network layer is causing an issue and focusing efforts on that layer. So troubleshooting is nothing but whenever there is when like there are 7 layers, right? So any one of the layer may cause some issues, or any one of the layer can be of error. So it will be just identifying, and then it will be just making it perfect, and the transmission need to be taking up very perfectly as well as in a smooth manner. And then next point will be of the OSI model helps network devices manufacturers and networking software vendors create devices and software that can communicate with products from any other vendor, allowing open interoperability. Define which parts of the network their product should work with, communicate to users at which network layers their product operates, for example, only at the application layer or across the stack. And then let us look after the characteristics of the OSI model here. So we can see the characteristics of this OSI model. We can see that, okay, the responsibility of the host. As I already told, the top layers are known as the host and the bottom layer are known as the network. So here the application, presentation, session and transport, which comes under the responsibility of the host, where these layers will be of in the form of host, and the below the physical, data link and network layers will be of the network, where it will be transmitting the network is nothing but it will be transmitting the data or the information to the host, and these can be of host layers. Okay, the OSI model is divided into two layers, as I already told, the upper layer and the lower layer. These are the upper layer, and these downwards are the lower layers. The upper layer of the OSI model mainly deals with the application related issues, and they are implemented only in the software. The application layer is closest to the end user. Both the end user and the application layer interact with the software application, and upper layer refers to the layer just above another layer. So in the upper layer, the application layer will be the very nearer to the end user. That is nothing we. The user will be us or we, where the application can be helpful for the user to interact, and as well as will be just getting the information from the physical layer, which is or a network layer or the data link layer, where will be getting the information from these three layers to the application layer, and then the application layer where it will be very nearer to the user. So it will just directly convey the information or messages to the user, and this layer and the upper layer refers to the layer just above the another layer. Okay, and this information or whatever the messages that will be just receiving to the application, so it will be transmitting this information or messages to the user by using the platform of software application. So as we know that the Amazon or Flipkart or many other applications, there are n number of applications in the present technology, where all these applications are being built to the user for, and there will be different or Android application for each and every parts of the any of the company. So here the users are we can see the Amazon, the first like front end will be of some what are like ads will be of there, and also the products and all those things. So these products are, and auto the development of back end or front end work will be done through the software applications, and the complete application, the complete process is known as full stack web development here. So here the application part will be just using this software platform for transmitting the information as well as the messages to the user. And then coming to the lower level of the OSI model deals with the data transport issues. The data link layer and the physical layer are implemented in hardware and software. The physical layer is the lowest layer of the OSI model and is closest to the physical medium. The physical layer is mainly responsible for placing information on the physical medium. Now let us look after the TCP and IP suite model. So here we will be just using in TCP and IP model, we will be just using the application layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer and physical layer. Physical layer. It is a group of applications requiring network communications. This layer is responsible for generating the data and requesting connections. It acts on behalf of the sender, and the network access layer on the behalf of the receiver. During this article, we will be talking on behalf of the receiver. Coming to the next layer, which is of data link layer. Physical layer is responsible for carrying individual bits in a frame across the link. Although the physical layer is the lowest level in the TCP or IP protocol suite, the communication between the two devices at the physical layer is still a logical communication, because there is another or hidden layer, the transmission media. Under the physical layer, two devices are connected by using transmission medium, which can be of cable or air. And then coming to the network layer, the network layer is responsible for creating a connection between the source computer and the destination computer. The communication at the network layer is host to host. The network layer in the internet includes the main protocol, internet protocol, which is of IP, that defines the format of the packet called a datagram at the network layer. Coming to the transport layer, the logical connections at the transport layer is also end-to-end. The transport layer at the source host gets the message from the application layer, encapsulates it in a transport layer packet and then sends it through the logical to the transport layer at the destination host. Application layer. Communication at the application layer is between two processes. To communicate, a process sends a request to the other process and receives response. Process to process communication is the duty of the application layer. The application layer in the internet includes many predefined protocols, but a user can also create a pair of processes to be run at their two hosts. Thank you for watching my channel as well as my videos. Please refer the playlist and keep learning. Thank you.